Yeah.
We're ready to go.
Welcome.
Welcome, Mako. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you.
So, obviously, we've been doing this with each signing that we've signed, Brad. So I'll just tell everyone a little bit about you. So Bradley Malcolm Ash, born on the 5th of April, 1996.
Yeah.
That makes 24 years of age. Same age as Spence, but a little bit younger, and you look a lot younger than him.
Yeah.
He looks about 60, and you look about 12, so probably meet somewhere in the middle. But firstly, just introduce yourself, or where you play, what you're doing, and a bit about yourself.
I'm striker. Obviously, just looking forward to starting up when we get a date, and I'm just excited to go.
You started off at Western Academy, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you I was finishing playing, and you were coming in. A little bit quicker striker than me as I was finishing, just. But you seem to, me and Cookie discussed about the players that they produced at Western Academy, and then you've done well, and then we kicked on to Barnsley. What was that like for you?
No, it was really good. Obviously, it was a massive step up, and then but it was really good. I learned so much there, and then obviously I had an injury, what obviously affects it a bit, but and then just from now I went from Barnsley to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And then obviously Hereford last year.
Yeah, well, I remember you at Bournemouth, and we took you on loan, and you started scoring goals.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, Bournemouth called you back, which is a bit of a shame. So you've got pedigree at this level, shall we say? So you've obviously been in it with Western, and then got you a good move to Barnsley. It was in the Championship.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've been at the level higher with Bournemouth, and this level with Hereford, and with Western. What are the fans going to expect from you? What type of player are you? What's your attributes?
I'm a goal scorer in the box, just around the box, just sniffing, just a bit like Defoe, just sniffing around, just scoring goals. And then you always get 100% from me, and I like it more in behind, but obviously I can come feet as well.
Yeah, I obviously Cookies has seen you a touch on that. When we had you, I think I tried to explain, you will score goals in and around the box, but you also make goals for yourself because of the way how hard you work. And I think that's why Western fans and fans that have had you, seen you play love how you work your work rate within matches.
Yeah.
Cookie, I know you saw him last year. Obviously, it wasn't his ideal position. What did you see with Brad's in that time, as well as what we spoke about?
Yeah, as you say, it wasn't his ideal position because he was playing right wing that night, and to be honest, he wasn't that effective. So we went away from the game because we were actually looking at a couple of players, and he was one of them. And we just was expecting to turn up and see him as a centre forward. So we were a little bit surprised. I know he can play right wing if he has to, but we see him more down the middle. And if we're gonna play a 4-4-2, for example, then he would definitely be one of the strikers up there as a main striker, if you like. But when what attracted me, I think I first seen him about 3 years ago, and believe it or not, I think he was a midfield player then. He was more like an attacking midfield player. Well, am I right on that, Brad?
Yeah, started off at Western in midfield, attacking midfield.
Players are 10.
Yeah. So obviously he got moved up where then he couldn't stop scoring and obviously playing very well, and that's what got his move. But with all our players, we're not just looking at one position anyway. There's going to be times when he might have to play out wide and things like that. But we just think if we're going to get 10, 12, 15, 20 goals out of him, then we do see him as a central striker, to be fair.
And I think that's one thing about yourself and me. We don't want to be playing players in their wrong position. It's pointless and pathetic. You get players and you sign them to put them in the positions that they're going to perform to their best of their ability. And that's why Brad is better as a 10 and a 9 rather than any 7 or an 11. Couple of things, Cookie, I wanted to ask you because I know that we discussed it during the week. Things are shaping up now that with the signing of Spence, Hanksy, Brad's. with a really good core of last year staying. I just wanted to, I know you've been chatting to a couple of left backs. How are the chats going along there with another fullback?
Yeah, that was coming along nicely. The only slight hitch we've got is one of the lads that we want to sign is injured at the moment, so that's a bit of a concern. But he goes in for an operation around about the 16th of July, I think it is. So if the season kicks off a little bit later, which is what we think it will anyway, then hopefully that won't affect him too much, and then he'll have a month ahead of him to try and get him fit for the start of the season, which I think will be more likely to be in September than it will be in August, I think, personally. So if that doesn't come through, we had an interesting phone call from our left back from last season, and Jay Folston's got released by Newport, so he possibly could be an option as well for us. And there's somebody else that we don't really want to speak about too much at the moment, but they have got several other clubs interested in them. But I think he's attracted to us because of the way we play and the way we see our fullbacks getting up the pitch and joining in, and so that's been attractive. But whether we've quite got enough money for him at the moment, I'm not sure we have, to be honest.
Okay. Also, we talked about a wide man that I know that you know and you've been speaking to. How's that coming along? Because he's got great Football League experience and pedigree, and could be an exciting signing if we manage to pull that off.
Yeah, it will be. Again, we don't really want to mention his name at this stage because we don't want to alert too many other clubs. He's already got 3 or 4 clubs chasing him. He's come from out of the conference. He was a Football League player. He's round about 24, 25, so he fits in that profile of the age group that we're looking at as well. So if that comes off, then we, with the signing that we're hoping to make in the latter part of this month, then we on the face of it would have quite a good front four to start with. What I've enjoyed though is that the people that we've got already at the club can also stand up for themselves and be just as good as the players that are coming in. So it will be an interesting battle for them on who gets that that starting shirt for the season, because it makes it very interesting. We've always been of the mind, haven't we, Mac, as Oski has as well, that you've got to be playing well and you've got to be fit, and you've got to be for us the one who's on form. And if you're on form, I don't care whether it's one of my signings or whether it's one of the lads from last season's squad, they'll be playing, they'll be in. So we need to emphasise that to everybody, that you've got to earn your spot in the team.
I think the group that was with us last year, I think some players like to probably have an easy night on a Thursday and not always join in and think they'd start on the Saturday. Well, they soon found out that if you're not training Thursday, you don't play. You've got to be 100% committed. Another thing, and one that we've discussed, an update on Will Puddy.
Yeah, Will's agreed to sign for us. That's just happened in the last few days. There was just we had to have a board meeting on Tuesday night just to talk about many things, and one of those was Will as well. So we're delighted to have Will on board again for next season. Hopefully in the near future, he could be one of those that we interview as well. We keep talking about him coming on, and possibly Gary Organ as well. So Gary will be staying with us, and might be good to have an interview with those two maybe on the next one.
Yeah, perfect. That's good news about Will, because I think towards the end of the season, we definitely saw some really good things from him. Brad, as I said, you developed through Western Academy, very much like Dale Grubb. I know you play with him. What do you think really helped you and Dale being in, not so much in the professional academy, but into a semi-professional academy? How did that develop you, as well as Dale, probably?
Yeah, no, it was obviously Dale was like one of the first ones to. He was like, when I was younger, he was like the first pathway sort, and I was just coming up behind him. And then you could see there was a pathway through Western to then go into the conference, and it helped me just obviously it was good just to learn off of and just play. Yeah, we linked up quite well together, so it was a good combination together.
Yeah, no, look, and we know Dale was fantastic, and he deserved his opportunity as you did, and it goes to show if you do work hard and you look to progress and you learn and you've got that appetite, you can get out of these divisions into Football League. I've even spoken to Dale today actually, and it's interesting to see where he might end up. I mean, it's definitely for us as a club, and Cookie back that up. If we're looking to make those steps in 2 to 3 years' time of where we want to be, players like Dale and the ilk of Dale are probably what we're looking for. Is that right, Cookie?
Yeah, definitely. It's the only shame of it is that I think he's a Football League player all day long. Whether he's got a little bit disillusioned of what's happened to him over the last season, I'm not quite sure. But there is talk that he might possibly drop back down into non-league. So if that was the case, then we would obviously be very interested. But as you can imagine, there'll be lots and lots of clubs that would be looking for his service, and lots and lots of clubs with a lot more money than what we've got. So it would have to be down to relationships that he's had with yourself, and whether he sees us as a viable club to be with. I know for a fact he likes the way that we play the game. So there's always that little call. And sometimes when lads have got a bit despondent and, things haven't quite gone for them, then the best thing for them to do is to maybe drop down a level, get back playing again and getting your confidence back and self-esteem. And then it all seems a little bit brighter then, doesn't it?
Exactly. And what more would you want? You could travel in with Brad and work with us. I mean, who wouldn't cry out for that?
No, who wouldn't want that? Not her.
Just everyone. Brad, one for you. Do you have any superstitions before a game?
No, I'm not too bad actually. I just keep to the same really. I relax before the game, listen to music, and then just get myself up for it. But not too many superstitions.
Oh, that's not too. I'm terrible. So Orgs and Oscar tell you I've got to if I travel one way and we win, I've got to do that. Even if we're going a completely different way, I've got to follow that. Got to eat the same thing. It's terrible. And it makes no difference, but I just do it because I'm an idiot. So that's the way it goes. I've got a question for you, which you guys know anyway. Brad and Cookie, I'm getting a load of stick during lockdown since this virus has kicked off. I'm not doing things that I should be doing. Is there anything that you've been told off for, or anything that you've done that you wouldn't have been doing if you were still at work or away from this lockdown?
Yeah.
Do you want to know mine?
Well, I'll tell you what. I must have a list as big as yours anyway, because I know your wife and my wife are very similar. But I've got into Gangs of London over the last sort of few weeks. And I had the audacity to watch an episode on my own the other day. And she came in through the door after doing some shopping. She was a little bit wet because of the rain and stuff like that as well, which didn't help her mood. And it was if I'd committed murder with one of our children that I had, front to actually watch this TV program on my own. When I tried to explain, I didn't get anywhere with her whatsoever, mate. So that's probably the worst thing that I've done in lockdown so far. And
the good thing, knowing Karen like I do, she's not a fiery person. She wouldn't have been that bothered.
No.
I mean, for me, I've been, because I've been off on furlough for quite a while. I've been doing the garden. I'm not really a gardener, not really very domesticated at all. But I've been told to water the plants. So I've been doing it. I've reseeded the garden, watered it. The grass looks lovely. However, we've got baskets out the front and some artificial trees. And I've spent 3 weeks watering these artificial trees, and they're waterlogged. So they're practically ruined now, and she's gone off on me. I'm like, they just look like a tree, so I'm watering it. If it's there, I'm watering it.
Yeah, you've got my support, mate. Anyway, at least you made the effort to water them. That's my backing of that.
What about you, Brad?
No, mine wasn't. There was obviously no salons being open, so with my missus, she wanted me to trim the bottom of her hair. I just,
Oh no! Oh no! This is not going where I think it's going,
No.
is
no,
it?
it's,
Did
I
he
was
have his hat like that? It's because his hat was heavy.
so that did not go well. So I haven't left my hair since. That's the reason for the hat.
I wouldn't be allowed to get anywhere near it with that, so I'm all right. Brad, we always do a little welcoming quiz. I don't if you should have done some homework, which I know you haven't. We always have a quiz for people that turn up, and if they don't do very well, they have to run until they're sick in pre-season. Now we've only done 2, and at the moment Joe Hanks is going to run until he's sick, and Spencer's done all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've had Alex Bray as well, mind Macca.
Oh God, yeah. Alex Bray failed, didn't he?
Top of the tree at the moment, isn't he, with the most correct answers?
Is Alex Bray top? I thought I put him bottom. Anyway, tomorrow, believe it or not, would have been the start of the Euros. And the last Euros, which I won't tell you because we've got questions on it, me and Cookie actually went. I'm fortunate enough to go. Cookie obviously goes with his job, and I was there with my job. But you got 5 questions. If you don't get 3, prepare to run until you can't run no more. Okay.
Hello.
Right. The country last hosted the Euros was
Portugal.
incorrect. France.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Not a good start so far, Macca.
Cross.
Already, I'm thinking he's in the Joe Hanks bracket.
I'm gonna. This could be a whack oops, complete 0.
Yeah.
England was pitched in the same group as Wales. What was the score in that game, and who was the scorers?
Sturridge.
1.
We have got a time limit on this as well, haven't we, Macca?
What do you reckon the score was?
Is it 3-2?
Incorrect. 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. Yeah. So who scored for Wales?
Bale.
Correct. Can you remember the other England scorer?
No. Dyer.
Unlucky. It was Jamie Vardy.
Unlucky.
Okay.
That surely is a
remember,
3-parter, Macca, as well. He's got to get all that right to get a point for that.
Yes. Yeah, no, he's got it wrong. We love to see people sick running. That's fine. Who knocked England out of the competition?
Iceland.
Correct.
Oh.
Okay. As a goal scorer, like yourself, who finished top goal scorer of the competition? And a bonus point to get you out of it if you guess how many he got.
Griezmann.
Oh my goodness! I never thought he'd get that.
Super.
With 8.
Incorrect. 6. But I'll give you. You got that right.
Yeah, he's done well then. He did do well.
You need this now.
Yeah.
Okay. To get to, there was 2 teams in the final. Who were they? Only both the teams, and who won?
Portugal won it. So
Correct.
Portugal versus France.
Correct.
Well done.
So disappointed. I wanted to see him mop up 6 in pre-season.
I did as well. I did.
Well done, Bradley.
Thank you.
Okay. That's pretty much it from me, Brad. Is there anything from you, Cookie? Do you want to add anything else?
No, just really looking forward to working with you, Brad. I know it's been a bit of a little journey that we've had over the last couple of weeks since we obviously started speaking to each other officially. So, just welcome to the club. I'm sure the supporters are going to love you. From my point of view, we're going to make sure that we play an attacking brand of football. So we need people like you at the club, basically. So all the best and welcome to the club, mate.
And I'm Brad.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done, mate.